Hi once again, everyone. It's Eric here with another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks for Wednesday evening. I'll try to keep this short. I'm starting to get a cold, and it's getting hard to talk, and it's that time of the year. Everybody seems to have something at this time of the year, and I think I'm coming down with a little bit of something, but let's get right to it. We had another fire that was caught on the radar this afternoon. Now, this was not as big of a deal, generally speaking, as the fire in Salem yesterday. I showed you that on the radar yesterday, and we got some calls into the newsroom around mid-afternoon. Hey, some people are seeing some smoke in southwestern Trumbull County out towards Braceville and near the Portage County line, and I pointed the radar that way and captured, the smoke plume. The difference between today and yesterday, not as much wind in the atmosphere today, so from the smoke from this fire just sort of rose and spread out and didn't shoot off to the northeast like the smoke from that big fire in Salem did yesterday. All right, across the country this evening, another pretty quiet evening. Cold front out this way is what's going to bring our rain tomorrow. Ahead of that front, a little band of clouds pushing through southwest Ohio will make its way into the valley later on tonight, keeping temperatures on the mild side for late November. Let's talk temperatures here briefly. Here's a look at the air temperatures across northern Canada this evening, up towards the Northwest Territories, where you see these darker greens by the legend up here. That's 20 below or so. That's cold, but not super unusual for this time of the year up in northern Canada. Most of the real harsh cold's on the other side of the globe. This is in Siberia, where even by Siberia standards, it's been very, very cold lately. Look at this deep purple here. That's 60 below zero. So that is some serious cold. Now, this sort of cold builds, and then it usually moves somewhere. It might move to the east, it might move to the west, it might ooze over top of the pole and come down into parts of North America. That's what I think is going to start happening as we go into the second half of next week. The much advertised cold snap is still on track, and I'll have more on that in a second. In the meantime, high pressure will push east tomorrow. Cold front approaches. Will be dry through lunchtime tomorrow. And as we get into the mid-afternoon, it's going to rain for a couple of hours just about everywhere. This is going to be light rain. It's only going to last a couple or a few hours. It'll be out of here by evening. And then we're left with high pressure for Friday and for the weekend as well. And while there can be some fair weather clouds, overall, pretty nice first weekend of December. A lot of people need to put out their holiday decorations, might be doing some shopping, and the weather is certainly going to cooperate for all that. When we break down the rain chances hour by hour tomorrow, I have them highest right around 3, 4 o'clock, quickly diminishing as we head towards sunset and into the evening on your Thursday. And as I mentioned, this is pretty light rain. Our models here are in pretty good agreement with maybe up to 1/10 of an inch in most spots. That should about do it. I don't think anyone's going to get a 1/4 of an inch worth of rain tomorrow. All right, I showed you this last night. I'm going to show you it again today, how while we have a general zonal flow across the country today, and what zonal means is generally west to east, like this. That's going to change. The pattern's going to amplify as we go into next week. That zonal flow will give way to a much more active configuration across North America, and we're going to keep a close eye on this upper level low pressure system dumbbelling southward out of northern Canada, and it's going to find itself a home right over Hudson Bay and over Quebec and Ontario. And boy, that's a cold looking weather map for December the 9th. That would be, that would be Saturday the 9th. You've got upper level low here, and then the flow around that, of course, is counterclockwise. So the flow on the backside straight out of the North Pole, coming down into the U.S. and then pushing east. So this is going to be cold. Record cold? No, probably not, but significantly cold for this time of the year. And I look back at the record books today. It's been a while since we've had a cold December, colder than average. Now, last year was a little colder than average. 30 degrees is a degree or so colder than average. We had some pretty cold weather in the middle of December in 2016, but 2015 was very warm. 2014 was kind of ho-hum. Same with 2013, 2012, 2011. 2010 is the last significantly cold December that we've had. And I think this year we could rival that, given what I'm seeing on the models in the longer range. Other recent cold Decembers, very significantly cold December in 2000. You may remember that one. That was a brutal December with harsh cold for a lot of the month, especially around Christmas time. And we had a pretty cold December back in 1995 and also in 2005. And what's interesting is, a couple of these years, including 1995 and 2005, are some of our what we call analog years for the winter forecast that we came out with about a month ago. Years that have similar atmospheric and oceanic setups to this year. So interesting that history may try to repeat itself and that winter can get off to a very fast start in the month of December. We'll see what happens in January and February. I'm going to have a full update on the winter forecast in 2 days, Friday evening on 21 News and also right here on an extended version. Might do it live on Facebook. Weather for Weather Geeks will do a complete revision of the winter forecast. Some big changes in the December outlook, maybe more subtle changes as we go into January and February from our original forecast. All right, thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. Check out my update tonight on 21 News at 11. Have a great Wednesday night.